Good afternoon and welcome to the City Club of Eugene's December 15th, 2023 program, Gifts to the City. This is our last program of the year and I'm so glad that you've joined us. My name is Andrew Calick and I am City Club's president. Today, City Club comes to you live from the 5th Street Market District in the heart of downtown Eugene, and it's my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our speakers and to all of you joining us in person, online, and over the radio. For over 3 decades, the City Club of Eugene has remained dedicated to its founding mission, to build community vision through open inquiry. In accordance with our mission and purpose, we hope to connect people throughout our community and across generations, identities, experiences, and perspectives. You are invited this week and every week to join us in this effort, to share your wisdom, learn something new, and take active steps to make a difference in this city and region that we all love. Of course, we cannot do this work alone, so a special thank you to our Platinum, Community, and Diamond sponsors. The Eugene Area Chamber of Commerce, serving as a catalytic leader in creating a vibrant and diverse economy that drives economic opportunity and well-being. Kaiser Permanente, which exists to provide high-quality, affordable healthcare services and to improve the health of our members and the communities we serve. More information at kp.org. The University of Oregon has helped Oregonians question critically, think logically, reason effectively, communicate clearly, act creatively, and live ethically since 1876. Get more information at uoregon.edu. Peace Health has been proud to serve Eugene, Lane County, and beyond as your hometown healthcare provider for more than 80 years. The Peace Health mission is to keep you and your family healthy. Learn more at peacehealth.org. Lane Community College transforms lives through learning. LCC provides comprehensive, accessible, high-quality educational opportunities that promote student success. For more information, visit lanecc.edu. The AARP of Oregon is a trusted and positive force for social change, using the experience and leadership of volunteer members to benefit all Oregonians as we age. More information at states.aarp.org/Oregon. Thank you also to the City of Eugene and Lane County for their support, and to Bryant, Obie, and Obie Companies for providing us with this Maple Room all year. It has been a wonderful home base for us, and we are very grateful for that generosity. Now, whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a longtime listener, I invite you to support our work by becoming an individual member, a business or community sponsor, or to suggest an idea for an upcoming program. You can do all those things and more at cityclubofueugene.org. Your support and encouragement make these community conversations possible. And of course, as I've been saying all year, City Club isn't just about conversation. It's about taking conversation and translating it into action. And it is our hope that with informed understanding, you will engage in the issues impacting our community, just like our amazing set of gift givers we are lucky to have today. The annual Gifts to the City program is one of the first traditions established by the City Club of Eugene, dating back almost to our founding in the early 1990s. In our last program before winter break, we invite community members to imagine that they have a magic wand and could conjure up a gift for Eugene that would make it an even better place to live, work, and or play. What might that gift be? It might be whimsical, serious, offbeat, ironic, amusing, challenging, all of the above perhaps. What would they give? Does a labor organizer see gifting opportunities differently from a reigning slug queen? Does a counseling psychologist view needs differently than a pastor? From gifts these speakers choose for Eugene, we get a hint about the insights gained from their various perspectives, and we're very grateful that they're all here. Thank you to John Belcher and Mary Layton for coordinating today's program, and thank you to Dan Bryant of Square One Villages, who is back by overwhelming popular demand, Dan, I would say, as today's MC. Without further ado, Dan Bryant.
Thank you, Andrew. That's just because I'm the one foolish enough to take on this assignment, but it's always a pleasure to do. So here we are once again in December when we come to the most entertaining, quirky, unpredictable, hilarious program of the year. But enough about the presidential debates. Let's talk about something that really matters, the City Club Holiday Gifts to the City program. We have a lineup this year of some of Eugene's best and brightest across a wide spectrum of personalities that make this such a wonderful community. And what a rich tradition this is. For me, it has been 25 years since I was first introduced to the City Club at this very program in 1998. And every year I have been delighted and entertained, provoked and stimulated, often learning much in the process while delighting in the wonderful wit and wisdom of our gift-giving speakers. So speaking of tradition, we begin each year with that uniquely quirky Eugene tradition and celebrity, the Royal Highness of Slime, or maybe that should be the lowness, because you can't get much more down to earth, literally, than this. So Jubilee Hedonisto, aka Jilynn Cherish, is the reigning slug queen of Eugene. By day, she works incognito at the Eugene's Public Library. But do not be fooled, for when she dons her superhero slug costume, she is a powerful advocate for pleasure activism, committed to the belief that a community that plays together not only stays together, but is better equipped to face any challenge. For Queen Jubilee knows that embracing joy is the superpower that can change the world. We are overjoyed to receive our first gift from Queen Jubilee Hedonisto.
Ooh, I'm so excited to be here. And I love presents. I spent a lot of time thinking about what would make a good gift for Eugene, but ultimately it was my father who inspired my choice. Some of you may have met my dad. He was community-minded, but also a thumb-your-nose-at-authority meddler. He loved deep thinking, but spoke with a collection of personal catchphrases that he would hand out in his distinct rasping voice. To ease introductions, he always wore his name tag, Charlie Hirsch. In our teens, whenever my sister and I left the house, Dad would call out, "Don't talk to strangers." Knowing he was teasing, we would throw back a "no stranger than you" as we headed out the door. And Dad was strange. Never shy to talk to somebody new, he would plow right in, either not aware of or choosing to reject personal or polite boundaries, confident he could extract laughter, a smile, or even a groan from his target. It was embarrassing to us kids and alarming to people who didn't know him, but Dad delighted in it. Always the treasure hunter. Whether it was a roadside bungee cord or a scruffy-looking person, Dad saw a value worth going out of the way for. He taught us to view talking to strangers akin to unwrapping a mystery present. But instead of socks or a blender, you might get a new friend or a funny story. Or, maybe socks. Life is unpredictable that way. I'm a regular bus rider. I'm sure you know the social rule of public transport: don't engage with others. Eyes on your phone, pretend that you are unaware of anything else going on around you. I'd love to say that I was the one to break that social norm, but I wasn't. One day, a person I'd seen a few times complimented my shirt. The next day, my book. The next day, a different shirt and my hair. Each time, I let curiosity override my defenses, and I responded in kind. We began to chat on our rides until we were our respective destinations. We discovered a list of shared interests. We traded cat pictures. We exchanged numbers. In a few months, we went from being strangers on the bus to my hosting their very sweet wedding on my back deck. The more you talk to people, the more you see the weave of our community build on that fabric and create lasting memories. So that's why my gift for the city is curiosity and bravery with a healthy disregard for social boundaries. I hope you'll try it out by chatting with somebody new. They're probably no stranger than you, unless they are, and that can be fun too.
Thank you, Queen Hedonisto. And boy, radio audience, you definitely should check out the YouTube video to get Her Royal Highness's super costume. Well, we had planned to follow Her Royal Gastropod with another local queen, drag queen Karess and Slaughter. Unfortunately, her alter ego, Cornell Hardiman, had to cancel due to a family illness. Very disappointing to me because I was looking forward to introducing that gift that was going to be a, wait for it, real drag queen. So we send our thoughts and best wishes to Cornell and his family. While our next guest is not a queen, she does have a crown as a two-time pageant winner. Melinda Preciado won the title Miss Wheelchair Oregon America in 2022 and then Miss Wheelchair Oregon USA the next year. Her platform is Adapting America for All, and her goal is to create a more inclusive and accessible society for individuals with disabilities, both visible and invisible. Prior to her traumatic injury in 2021 that put her in her chair, Melinda had worked in healthcare for 17 years. Suddenly, on the other side, as a patient receiving months of healthcare, Melinda has found a new purpose in life as an advocate for all those who face challenges to accessibility due to no fault of their own. And so we welcome the gift, and I am sure the challenge that Melinda has for us.
Greetings, I'm Melinda Preciado. I am your current reigning Ms. Wheelchair Pacific Coast, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, picture a world where I have a magical wand offering our community something truly impactful. Today, I want to talk to you about a big issue that affects all of us. The unfair judgment faced by people with disabilities. In a world that should celebrate our differences, those with disabilities often deal with discrimination and misunderstanding. Think about a place where challenges go beyond just physical hurdles. They're mixed with unfair ideas that make life even harder. People with disabilities not only face practical problems, but also the weight of unfair options, creating a harmful stigma. We urgently need to break down these barriers, understand each other better, and see the incredible potential in every person, no matter their abilities. So I'm asking you to be part of this important mission. Let's all work together to challenge and break down this stigma, creating a world that's not only easier to navigate, but also kinder to everyone. In doing this, we discover the true richness of our shared humanity. Thank you for joining me on this journey and helping me give a truly impactful gift to our city. Thank you. Sorry, picture time.
No apology for pictures.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Melinda. Rights for all, including accessibility regardless of abilities, race, ethnicity, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender, is so essential to a healthy, thriving society. Well, our next speaker, Ibrahim Coulibaly, has long been an advocate for human rights and is the former president of the Eugene Springfield NAACP. Ibrahim grew up in a small French-speaking country of West Africa. He came to the United States in 2008, lived in New York, started working with the Bronx Museum of Art, helping to bring indigenous women artisans from Africa to New York to share their craft. Ibrahim originally moved to Eugene as a more affordable place to improve his English. Imagine. He is now a senior civil rights investigator with the Bureau of Labor and Industries, and we are so thankful to have him in our community and to receive the gift that he offers to us today. Ibrahim?
Good afternoon. So good to be here. My name is Ibrahim Coulibaly. Was born in Burkina Faso in West Africa, and my parents moved to France when I was 7. So I grew up in France, and I spent most of my time in Africa because my mom didn't like the cold weather. So, I come from the Bambara tribe. It's across West Africa from Senegal all the way to Nigeria. And our tribe valued elders. We are a oral tradition tribe, so we learn from elders. And in my tribe, you'll see actually people arguing because one want to be acknowledged that like older than the other because it gives you a social status. So when I moved here, of course, already in France, I realized how different we see elders in the community. And when I came to Eugene, my first thing to do to improve my English was to try to volunteer at a nursing home. So where I will volunteer at a nursing home, those elders don't know, they don't speak French, I don't speak English, we will understand each other. And we continue. After that, I had a few conversations with a few friends that I met through the volunteering process to create a space where people who are retired will come and meet with international students or immigrants in general and have a casual conversation, not in academic setting or a teaching setting, but have a conversation to get to know each other and actually be able to correct the other person in English. Say, oh, maybe you should say this way. And it worked. We met at the Atrium building every Thursday. And reflecting back on that, I think there is an opportunity here. We have a growing community of retirees. Of course, you guys are not part of that community. The gift I want to offer to the city is a gift of mentoring, a gift of coaching. We have plenty of young retirees who want to offer, and they do not know how to be involved. Yes, 1 minute. So my gift is if we could create a platform where a retired plumber will teach people how to change a faucet. An electrician will tell you how to change a light bulb. A teacher will correct your English. A politician will talk about public speech with students. We could meet once a month somewhere. We could bring more people, and we will bridge the gap between the aging community and the young people. So that's my gift to the city. I have a nonprofit called Human Stories. We promote human rights through the lens of storytelling. So look us up online. I will probably pass my card around for you to get to know who we are. And I think we have a wealth of knowledge from our elders, from our retirees, and we would like to benefit from that. That's my gift to the city.
Thank you, Ibrahim. I'm not sure why, but it seemed like we might need a psychologist at some point in this program, right? And we have a good one. Karrie Walters is a licensed psychologist who specializes in psychological assessment, differential diagnosis, and child and family interventions. Karrie regularly translates current research to applied practice, integrating her 22 years of clinical experience with current best practice, offering robust training experiences to her undergraduate and graduate students in the Department of Counseling, Psychology, and Human Services. And while it sadly may be frowned upon in certain states in this country, Karrie also provides consultation and best practices working with transgender and gender nonconforming youth. So Karrie, thank you for your work and for sharing your gift with us today.
didn't know you were going to make that awesome introduction. I wrote down my little introduction myself, so I don't need to do that. But yeah, I feel very, very privileged and lucky to be able to work at the University of Oregon as core faculty in the Counseling Psychology and Human Services Department in the College of Ed, as well as to do some limited work at Vista Counseling. And so I feel very lucky to be able to kind of have a large range of colleagues. So I do a lot of work, but I wanted to talk specifically about the work I do in our assessment clinic. So I developed and direct an ADHD and learning disability assessment clinic at the University of Oregon, specifically in the College of Education. And every year, I get lots of eager doctoral students very excited to come and learn how to diagnose ADHD and learning disabilities. And they're especially excited to get involved in all kind of the fun brain stuff. We do cognitive assessment, we do academic testing, we do all this fancy differential diagnosis. But eventually, they learn that the main thing we specialize in is stories. Students, mostly we see students, community members come to us and they're struggling. And our job is to walk beside them and to listen to their stories, to really see them in their larger contexts, and to also listen to the surface level assumptions that other people have put on their stories. Our students come to us and they've been told they're lazy. They just don't try hard enough. They're just not very smart. So our job is to not only listen to the deeper context of their stories, things like cultural assumptions, gender assumptions, academic assumptions, but also context, how much sleep are they getting, how much resources they have. And of course, yes, the official cognitive fancy testing that we do and diagnosis, but also to listen to the surface level assumptions that people have put on them, like lazy, like not smart enough, and actually help our clients rewrite those, right? Help them see those in a new context, in a different context, and step away from that surface level understanding. My gift to the city is to ask people to actually do the work to unwrap other people's stories. I want to gift you, I want to gift everyone each other's stories. How often has someone looked at you just because of what they see or a surface level of what they know about you, and they've already written your story for you? You understand it's more complicated. You understand there's more context. When you do something that maybe you accidentally, has anybody ever taken a walk and then accidentally brushed somebody or run into them and they look at you and say, you're just inconsiderate. But you actually were deeply thinking about something and now you feel bad, but they have this assumption for you. How many times have we looked at someone unhoused on the street and just quickly made a surface level assumption? How many people hear about trans kids and suddenly all their brain is filled with these surface level media assumptions? Have you talked to a trans kid? Have you sat down and had a conversation with someone who is unhoused? I get a lot of questions recently. Are you pro-Israeli or pro-Palestinian? Choose a side. Both. Listen to their stories. Listen to our stories. Anytime you find yourself making a surface level story for someone, pause. Push yourself. Ask more questions. But this gift involves work because it involves actively unwrapping a story. You actually have to actively do the work. But it's a gift if you put in the time.
Thank you, Karrie. And speaking of stories, our next speaker is a storyteller by trade and a matchmaker by heart. Alma Fumiko Hesus is currently the Vice President of Resource Development at United Way of Lane County. Alma earned a BA in journalism at the University of Oregon with a robust skill set that includes marketing, social media marketing, copywriting, brand development, and more. Alma is a strong advocate in the fight for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. And we are lucky to have her in ours. Alma, welcome.
I never know how podiums are going to go for me, so everyone here? Okay, thanks. I did also put this down on paper so I can stay on track, because I think some of you, like Miss DeLeesa, knows how excited I get to talk about our community. Thank you. I didn't want to touch anything. I have a tendency to make it hard for everyone else. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. Perfect. I want to start with a quick story before I jump into the gift here. When John called me and I was at the office and I was doing my thing. It's the end of the year, and I work for United Way right now, so I think you can imagine what the end of the year is like for me. I answered the phone and said hello, and John said, "Hi, Alma. You've been chosen to give a gift to the city." And I thought, that is the coolest way to ask for a donation. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that is awesome. And so, of course, I was like, sure, how can I help? And then I know my husband, who's probably, if he watches this, is going to say, this is the problem. You just say yes before you think about what it was you're saying yes to. But that's, to me, the importance of our community. It's well, you know, we do need to think first. You know, my dad always says, you know, look before you leap. But anything that's for our community gets me really excited. So I really am privileged to be invited to this team. And I think as I was listening to the stories before, there's a theme. So I know this is for the city, but I can't think about just our city. I have to think about our community. And I know there's going to be folks listening and watching this. And this is beyond, my gift is beyond what I think is just our city. It is all of us, because you know, we can't do anything by ourselves. No solution to any of the challenges we have in our community is going to be solved by any one of us or any one city or any one group. It's going to take all of us working together. So I'm going to, okay, there's a thing going on with everyone else. So I am going to try to get back to the paper. So somebody may give me a time, like 30 seconds, so I can cut myself off. But so in my culture, I'm a Pacific Islander. And we refer to folks who are older than us as auntie, uncle. In Guam, it was tio and tia. Colonization, we have a lot of Spanish influence there. And other honoraries for anyone in between that's appropriate to folks and how they identify. This is a practice that's not uncommon, as Ibrahim was talking about. It's not uncommon for the global majority. We use these honoraries to refer to individuals in our lives as a gesture of respect and a way to show our connections with each other. Oftentimes, these folks aren't related by blood, but they are connected by heart. These are people that maybe we met through our parents, through our other family members, through friends we make at work. Sometimes when we no longer work with them, like I think it's funny to call some of my folks who are mentors uncle and auntie, and they look at me and say, don't do that. And I say, it's fun. Embrace it. You're my uncle and auntie. I'm going to you when I have a question, a work challenge, a life challenge, something else that's going on. I want them to feel that connection to me and remember that we are all connected and we are all family. So these affiliations that we make in our communities, we're able to connect with folks. So these are people who have your back and will get your back when you're in a jam. They'll be the loudest person in the room celebrating your accomplishments, no matter how mediocre those accomplishments might be. Aunties and uncles are often folks who are well enough seasoned in life to provide you the stability and the support to give you the grounding that you need when you need it most. They also know you well enough to support you with compassionate accountability because they know your heart and they know your abilities. I believe that everyone, regardless of age, should have an auntie, an uncle, or someone in between who is your go-to person. This gift can be made possible, but my switcheroo here is it's only possible to give this gift if you're willing to receive it, and vice versa. If we all stepped up and said, I will be there for you, if you're willing to be an auntie, an uncle, or anyone in between for someone else, this wishful dream can become a reality for our community, and there'll be a lot less pain and a lot less loneliness in the world. We need to have more opportunities to come together and to find what connects us rather than what divides us, and that starts with each of us being there for each other. So as a self-proclaimed auntie of many, I invite you to be an auntie, uncle, tio, tia, and anything in between for folks in your life and folks who need it most, and that's really how we're going to make a change in the world. So thank you all.
Thank you, Alma. And of course, every good program requires sponsors, and we have some great sponsors, and we'll take a break for Andrew to say a few words about them.
Thank you, Dan. We will indeed continue our Gifts to the City program in a moment, but first I'd like to thank the business and in-kind sponsors whose support helps to make City Club possible. Thank you to our gold sponsors, Network Charter School, Hirschner Hunter LLC, and Evans, Elder, Brown, and Subert. Thank you also to our in-kind sponsors, KRVM 91.9 Radio, Alpha IT, Dotson's Photography, and Kid Sports. Also, thank you to our award-winning public radio station, KLCC FM 89.7, for airing City Club programs Monday nights at 7 p.m. For those listening at home right now, your household is one of several thousand tuning into City Club on KLCC, and we love that you are here. You can find all recent City Club programs archived on KLCC, as well as on our YouTube channel and as podcast. Now, back to Dan with more gifts.
Thank you, Andrew. Yes, we have 4 more gifts to be given, and our next gift giver is Nick Sixkiller, who is an enrolled member of the Cherokee tribe of Oklahoma, but has lived most of his life here in Oregon. He served in the Navy on submarine tenders, studied environmental technology, and was employed with the Confederated Tribe of Siletz Indians as an education specialist for 27 years. He is now retired, but still helping with the Siletz tribe and participating in powwows around the state. He is also the host of KRVM's Thursday Night Indian Time program and is the football announcer for the Siletz Warriors. On a personal note, I just have to say that I have a great-great-great-grandmother who was a part of the Cherokee tribe, Grandma Moon, we knew her as, and my mother was able to look up her name in Oklahoma in the registry there. So who knows, we might be related. So welcome my long-lost relative, Nick Sixkiller.
Osio Dohitsu Okanalihi Negada. And that means hello, everybody. I hope you're all feeling well and having a good time. And again, my name is Nick Sixkiller, and my whole name is Quantanoi Sudali Dehi, named after my grandfather from Westville, Oklahoma. But I don't do that. It's a long name, so Nick Sixkiller is fine with me. Worked for the Siletz tribe again for 27 years after I was out of the Navy, and hooked up with them and had a great time with them as an education specialist. And that was my gift to Eugene, is going around to all the schools. I was a Johnson O'Malley specialist for the Siletz tribe, but then I had 5 counties I worked at. So I was on the road a lot and went to many schools and helped out a lot of indigenous young people. And so to Eugene, I went to all the schools in Eugene and helped out all the indigenous people in all the classes, and helped out by speaking with the teachers and instructors and everything about how to handle our indigenous people and get to know them really well, because we're a lot different than a lot of people, Americans. So to bring indigenous people into different towns, things like that, it's kind of a hard thing once in a while. So makasetomi lako wecho kanke ote ite ielio ina ake malakota kiakcha. That means that all over Mother Earth, our indigenous way of life is hard. And my mom and my dad told me that I'm an Indian, but to have courage. And then when my mother passed away, that's what it was. I didn't know she was fluent in Cherokee. And I went to her while she was really sick and in bed, and the doctor wanted to know, what is she saying? She's just mumbling. I said, no, she's not. She's a fluent Cherokee speaker. And he didn't know that. And then, I'm sorry to say that, but that's just what's in my mind all the time. And as indigenous people, we worry about our ancestors a lot. And so as a instructor, I'm trying to get a lot of people into Eugene to come here as indigenous peoples, and we do our powwows. And I'm so proud of Eugene for letting us do powwows at LCC and then the University of Oregon. I do a lot of MC work at powwows. I love doing that, and I'm all over the state doing things like that. It means a lot to me. Although I'm not quite a quarter amount of Cherokee tribes, but my dad was part Lakota, and my mom was she was almost a half Cherokee. So I feel good about that, and just love Eugene for what they have done for me to help out here. Silet's Indian tribe. I worked for them for 27 years, and I spent most of my time over here in the Silet's office out there on West 11th. But I do a lot of work with the people over in Silet's. So I'm proud to be here. I thank John for inviting me up here, and thank you all very much. I wish you the best, and take care, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick, and I'm so glad you pronounced your Cherokee name, because with my 164th Cherokee blood, I don't think I could have done it. I did not pick our last three speakers, but I could not be more pleased, for not only are they three good friends from my years doing interfaith work as pastor at First Christian Church for 29 years, they are extraordinary civic leaders in our community. DeLeesa Meashintubby is the Executive Director of Volunteers in Medicine and has served on the Peace Health Sacred Health Medical Center Community Health Board since 2016. She is also a member of the Steering Committee for Peace Health Strides for Social Justice program. She was named in 2022 First Citizen by the Eugene Chamber of Commerce. She serves on numerous boards, including at Bushnell University and the Eugene Chamber of Commerce. And she is the pastor at St. Mark's Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, the oldest African American church in Eugene. So, Pastor DeLeesa, the podium is all yours, but you only get 4 minutes. Just fair warning.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Pastor Dan. I'm still going to call you Pastor Dan. I just wanted to say I am excited about being here. I'm excited about a gift to the city of Eugene. But first, I'm going to go back to where I'm from. I'm from Arkansas, who married a full-blooded Choctaw Indian from Tallahena, Oklahoma. And so we live here. And when we came here in 1989, it took us 3 tries until we got it right. We lived for 14 years in the small town of Monroe. We lived for 3 years in the small town of Dexter. And then it was like, okay, we loaded up the truck and moved to Eugene, and here we've been, you know. I do say that Eugene has been good to me. It's been good to my family, and it's been good to the community around me. I come here as humbly as I know how because, one, working for Volunteers in Medicine Clinic, you know, when Sister Monica Heron approached me about this, you can't say no to Sister Monica Heron. And so 20 years later, I'm still at Volunteers in Medicine Clinic. But what I wanted to say to you is that we get to help those who are uninsured, underserved, and those who are a lot of times seen invisible. And what I get to do every day is to go home knowing that what I did today made a difference in somebody else's life. So what I want to say to you today is if I had a magic wand and if I could give anything back to this city, I want to continue doing this, giving my heart to you, because my heart is what holds the love that I have for this community, by giving my time back to this town, because my time is what I give when I have nothing else I can give, and giving my resources, not just money, not just dollars, dimes, but when I say resources, that means giving my mindset to the community, because there are kids behind us growing up. And I preach this from my pulpit. We are to reach one, teach one. And so if I can reach back and pull someone else up to love this community as much as I do, then I've done my job. So thank you for allowing me to do this, and I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor DeLeesa. So last Sunday afternoon, I had the opportunity to hear our final two gift givers, among others, speak powerfully to the incredible tragedy of October 7th in Israel and the ongoing war in Gaza. And I'm very thankful that they are able to bring their wisdom, compassion, and voice for justice to us here today. Now, in this holiday season, you are apt to hear a song or two, maybe, about a child born in Bethlehem. Well, it just so happens that our next guest, my good friend Ibrahim Hamide, is also a child from Bethlehem, who immigrated to Eugene in 1969 to attend the University of Oregon and has lived here ever since. He has worked on social justice issues for many years, serving on the Human Rights Commission and the Ad Hoc Committee on Police Reform. I first encountered Ib nearly 30 years ago as the organizer of the Middle East Peace Group, bringing together Muslims, Jews, and Christians to work for peace with justice in the Middle East. And I recall we co-authored a column in the Register Guard back then in the mid-90s. So Ib, of course, many of you know, is a full-time chef and owner of my favorite restaurant, Cafe Soraya. And Ib has several family members still in Bethlehem who I had the wonderful opportunity to visit several years ago while in Israel, and who are very much on my mind in this most difficult time. So Ib, welcome.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that wonderful introduction. Can everybody see what I have here? In keeping with the magic wand theme, I have a magic eraser, right? Well, with this, the city of Eugene can erase some misconceptions, such as it never rains at Hudson Stadium, right? Like, we are a truly diverse city that you can make a left turn on 13th Street if you're traveling east without two turn signals changing before you do that. Also, that the heart comes in sometime, and I do appreciate the speaker before, just a minute ago, when she shared her heart, and it really stopped me in my tracks because it made my funny stuff just go away, and wanting to share some heartfelt stuff. And that's part of what Dan said about the commitment to the Human Rights Commission and the commitment to wisdom, and especially in these hard times. So it is with that fullness of heart that I want to share the depth of my feelings with you guys, because I don't know what else to do with them. Honestly, I really don't know what else to do with them. And also to put in a plug for a multicultural center while I'm here, because I think the marginalized communities would call that place home. and we do have them in town. So that's a gift that also, in addition to that, I'd like to leave the city with one more gift, which is my vote for Dan Bryant to be the Citizen of the Year one of those days.
Thank you, Eb. That's very sweet of you. We'll censor that part from the program. Now, while most of the decorations and music in this time of year, of course, are about Christmas, last night, I think some of you hopefully know, was the 8th night of Hanukkah. And hence, it just seems fitting to me to end our program with Eugene's favorite rabbi, Ruhi, Sophia, Motzkin, Rubenstein. So Rabbi Ruhi became Temple Beth Israel rabbi in July of 2015 after graduating from the Reconstructionist Rabbinical College. While completing her studies, she served for 2 years as an intern at the LGBTQ synagogue in New York. Rabbi Ruhi is vocally trained and brings a love of music to her work, most evident in the services she leads and something I have always enjoyed when attending the synagogue. She is inspired by both the personal and communal aspects of the rabbinate, holding and guiding people in moments of joy and sorrow, and helping bring people together, whether to join our voices in prayer or to work for social justice, the kind of voice greatly needed today. Now, I don't want to end on a serious note because I know the rabbi has a gift for humor too, so I look forward to hearing from Rabbi Ruhi.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. It's an honor to be up here with these, or following all of these esteemed speakers. And I was also thinking, this is probably a first time that there's been 2 Ibrahims giving gifts to the city. Of Eugene, at least. I'm inclined to start my conversation about my gift by asking Ib to borrow the eraser to erase one more thing, which is the conception of Eugene or the United States as a Judeo-Christian society. Christian hegemony is everywhere, and so much of what gets considered Judeo-Christian is actually just Christian. And starting with the concept of a holiday season for which we are giving gifts to the city. Yes, last night was the last night of Hanukkah. It's not a particularly remarkable Jewish holiday, though, and I think that's important to name when considering, for example, why some Jews or people of other non-Christian religions get a little upset when there is so much seasonal decoration around town. So in that spirit, this itself isn't the gift, but it is symbolic of the gift, and maybe if there's some representative of the city that wants to take it from me, I would love to hand it to you. This is a Hebrew calendar that I ordered online. It's got all the Jewish holidays, and it also, I contacted Ib, I contacted some other friends to make sure to write in the major holidays of other non-Christian religions. And so, if I can give this to someone from the city, I've written in starting in February, the Buddhist holiday of Maja Puja Day on February 24th, through the Hindu holiday of Diwali and the Baha'i birth of the Bab and the Baha'u'llah in early November. And it turns out, actually, having researched for giving this gift to the city of Eugene, that there are some really fun and fascinating confluences of non-Christian holidays, what we might in fact call holiday seasons. So, for example, the Muslim holy month of Ramadan will likely begin at sundown on April 10th this year, and at the full moon of that same month will fall the Hindu festival of colors, Holi, and the minor Jewish holiday of Purim. So fun! Holiday season, right? So since this is a Jewish calendar, I have highlighted only the most major Jewish holidays, and it's a really interesting fact that in late December, there are no highlighted dates on this calendar. Turns out it's not actually a holiday season, except for one religion. So what I want to give is not just this calendar, but the gift of multiple holiday seasons. And the gift that if Eugene truly wants to be a multicultural place, that we make an attempt to celebrate our multicultural, multi-holiday seasons. And I also want to gift the gift of Google, because if anyone looks at this calendar, there's going to be a lot of words you don't recognize, but you can find out what they mean. So I'm not going to say happy holidays. I'm going to say Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. And for the rest of us, I hope that whenever our holidays come around, they are happy.
Thank you, Rabbi. Provocative as well as prophetic, so I just love it. So we actually have one actual gift to give today, and Jim and Evangelista is going to present that gift.
And it comes in a box. Well, thank you, Dan, and thank you all for letting me offer a gift that I've been anxious to give for quite a long time. And while it's not a gift to the city, it's a gift to one who has been a gift to all of us for so long. And to pull this one off, I've had friends, and I appreciate the friends who have been helpful in doing that. So, Reality Kitchen has started, many of you know I'm the executive director of Reality Kitchen, realitykitchen.org, and you know the work that we do, and it's all about building community and creating opportunities for all, with and without disabilities. And we landed in a wonderful place to form our home on the River Road neighborhood. And we are so grateful for all who have found their way to us and to support us. But more importantly, we want to acknowledge today, with our very esteemed Pretzel Award that we have been giving, we want to acknowledge a gift that continues to give to so many in the community. Can I ask John Belcher, please, to come on up? John, I want to thank this man. He's become a dear friend to all of us, but certainly to me and to Reality Kitchen. But Reality Kitchen would like to acknowledge John Belcher for all his commitment and dedication to building community in Eugene, on River Road, in Lane County, for all of our benefit. He has been a gift to all of us, and we want to thank you. And thank you, Dan.
This is a surprise. I'll accept this as long as it's for all the people in River Road who have worked with Reality Kitchen and tried to make our neighborhood better. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
John, I took a look at that award. I recommend you not try to put your teeth into that pretzel. We have a few moments left, so that gives me time to add my own little gift. So back in the days when we had a daily newspaper with an editorial page, do you remember that? Back in ancient times, right? There was this political cartoon that I loved. Jerry Falwell on top of a mountain on his knees praying. Dear Father, the feminists are taking over our country and I don't know what to do. And Holy Father, please save us from the black activists demanding more and more rights. Great Father, what are we to do when these radicals are taking over the country? A voice descends from the heavens. For starters, quit calling me Father. Falwell, by what name shall we call you? Voice, Big Black Mama would be good for starters. Now, people from my congregation know that I never mention politics from the pulpit, but I did read that particular cartoon and lost a member over it who was offended. I share that cartoon now because I've always been offended by the stereotypical portrayal of God as an old white man, just a more glorified version of Santa Claus. Although the closer I get to becoming an old white man, I'm beginning to rethink that position. And not to get religious in the midst of this holiday season filled with all kinds of religious imagery, of course, as the rabbi has pointed out, from my particular tradition. I just want to end by celebrating the incredible, beautiful diversity of humanity represented in our program today. Every single one reflecting the image of what I would call the holy, others might call ultimate reality, or maybe we can just call it the cosmic good. By whatever name you call it, may you be blessed in this holiday season of giving.
That's all the gifts we have time for today. Please thank me, or please thank me. Please, you can thank me too. I'll take any thanks I can get. I really need it. Please join me in thanking our wonderful gifters today. Let's talk about Adam and Mike. This has been our December 15th Gifts to the City program at the City Club Eugene. A few last announcements before we close. In the spirit of giving, last week we announced that we were trying something new. We are proud to offer our members the chance to give a free year-long membership to City Club to a friend or family member of your choosing. You should have seen that in the newsletter this week. We'll send out the link again. Just fill out that form. We'll take care of the rest. In addition, City Club is giving another gift to the city. Beginning on January 10th, we will once again be sponsoring a free course for teachers who want to learn more about economic activities in our community. Thanks to the Lane Education Service District, the Lane Workforce Partnership, Collaborative EDO, Onward Eugene, the Eugene Area Chamber of Commerce, and Connected Lane County, we have a great lineup of businesses for this course. Rosen Aviation, Palo Alto Software, Reynolds Electric and Plumbing, Melee Construction, Pivot Architecture, the Lane Transit District, the Terrell Group, Yogi Tea, Peace Health, Sierra Pacific. You'll learn about them all. So for details about how to sign up for that free course, go to our website, cityclubofeugene.org. Last but certainly not least today, a bittersweet announcement about our managing director, Randy Bowers-Payne, who will be departing her service to City Club at the end of the year for a very exciting new chapter in her life. Randy, we are a better city and a better club. Thanks to you, and we wish you all the best in your new endeavor. Yes, indeed. Now, as Randy departs, we'll be welcoming 2 new City Club interns from the University of Oregon in the new year, so stay tuned for more about them soon. We'll be off until January 5th when we're back for a conversation about the Drug Addiction Treatment and Recovery Act, better known as Measure 110. That should be a good one. See you then, and have a happy and healthy new year.